Welcome back to another episode of Passport to Maryland Cannabis. I'm your host, Keisha, the CEO of Explore Maryland Cannabis, and I am here this week bringing you, of course, the news that you may have missed, the products that actually launched, and, whether or not they're great, the monthly theme, and, of course, events that you need to keep on your radar because outside is opening up safely. For those who are joining us for the first time, hello, welcome. For those who are back from a previous episode, welcome back. Summer is officially here in Maryland, and we are looking forward to getting outside safely, of course, and continuing to cover what's going on in the Maryland cannabis ecosystem. Because just because summer is here doesn't mean things are slowing up. We want you to stay connected to what's going on in the Maryland ecosystem. So here's a few ways you can do that. You can sign up for our email list to get information. You can get jobs, resources, and all the top things that's happening here in Maryland. You can join us. Every month we host a variety of events from educational to social to bring and build community. You can also visit our website and our social channels, which are awesome to keep up to date on what's going on. We want you to stay connected. All right, housekeeping's done. Let's go ahead and head into our first segment, What's Trending? Let's talk about what's trending. We'll start with the headlines. Here are the top stories from our region this week. Looks like we are jumping into our headlines. Bop, bop, bop. So our first headline of the week is quick congratulations to our friends in Virginia. One, congratulations on your legalization push. July 1st, Virginia went full adult use in addition to some very super awesome advocates helping to launch a seed giveaway. So I'm familiar with these seed giveaways because I've been involved in different markets, specifically DC, where seeds are always given or sold or shared or gifted, depending upon the community that you are connected with. But alongside DCMJ, MDMJ, and the newly formed VAMJ, they set a goal to collect 10,000 seeds and donate them to the Commonwealth of Virginia. So they had a few different locations where they were able to launch this off, and it's my understanding that they will continue to do this over the next couple of weeks. So if you happen to have resources that you can donate to VMMJ as they help to push cultivation, home cultivation, which is available in Virginia, feel free to reach out to them or shoot us a note and we can get you connected with some of the leaders of those organizations. Our next story is around Sha'Carri Richardson. So if you are not familiar with Sha'Carri, she is a bomb track athlete who just lit up everything in June, qualified for the Olympics, and recently got tested and was suspended or is suspended for 30 days due to marijuana showing up in her system before the Olympic trials. Now, one of the great things that she did was own up to it, right? It also started a very long conversation around Black athletes, white athletes, who uses, who doesn't use, and even if marijuana or cannabis should be tested. It's not necessarily a performance enhancing drug, although I would disagree as it relates to how it makes you feel, how it allows you to be productive depending on your system. But in this case, it super opened up a conversation around why was this even tested? Why is her Olympic career have this big mark on it? And also, what can we do moving forward? So a lot of folks had a lot of opinions, including Representative Alexandria, AOC, for those who are familiar. You can then get more information about what the suspension is, but basically there are a lot of petitions going around to help get this case pushed up to a larger visibility. So, one thing's for certain that I know, she has a praying grandmother and she is going to be just fine. But I hope that this conversation does open up a larger conversation around cannabis use, mental health, and that as an athlete. So we'll be keeping abreast of this conversation as it continues. Shout out to our friends at the Outlaw Report. They do local reporting around cannabis news. I'm super excited to follow what they publish because they do a really great job around it. And they have an amazing podcast. This past week, they had an opportunity to interview friend of the show, Martin Mitchell, who is the president of Prince George's County's Young Democrats. And he is also running for city council in Laurel, Maryland. He is a cannabis advocate. And I just loved this interview. It was an interview between him and Scott, who is also a progressive leader in our cannabis ecosystem. So if you get an opportunity, be sure to check out this podcast because it's full of great information. And be sure to support Martin as he runs this race for city council, because we need more local leaders who understand cannabis, understand the benefits of cannabis. Laurel has a ton of dispensaries and small businesses that help support the ecosystem. So let's help him win. But certainly not least, this article by Ganjapreneur, which is in huge bold letters, talks a bit about some of the plight that our Maryland cannabis companies are licensed and, registered small businesses, including our small business, have to face absorbent fees for access to banking services. Now, I'm lucky to bank with a local bank that understands that what we're doing as an organization is not plant touching, but a lot of our industry organizations, a lot of our licensee holders, because of cannabis's legality, the status as it relates, banking is usually restricted. I'm sure you've heard, if you haven't, about the Safe Banking Act that was introduced and reintroduced and argued in conversation, all of those things. But this is also by our friends at the Outlaw Report. Come on, y'all. They got this article featured inside of Ganjapreneur, and it just basically talked a lot about some of the trials and tribulations that our operators and folks in our industry have to deal with. One of the big banks, Severn Bank in Annapolis, was one of the first to kind of jump on board to allow folks in the cannabis space to do business. But they've got a crazy amount of fees. But it's the nature of doing business. And one of the ways that we want to help push that conversation forward is talking a bit about how those fees impact the price of doing business, from payroll to insurance to, cash, the way in which that's deposited. It's a huge entanglement of conversation. So if you want to learn more about some of the trials and tribulations with some of the opportunities that Maryland businesses have as it relates to banking, be sure to check this article out. All right. So, every month we have a dedicated theme, and this month is no different. We're talking about testing and labels. So we all know that labels in Maryland aren't necessarily created equal, but they are necessary. There are a lot of different labels and products that show up on menus all over the state. But do you understand them? If you want to learn more about what's included in a label and why testing is important here for everyone in the ecosystem, you can join the Explorers Club. So this month, we'll be talking about testing and labels as it relates to industry. We'll have a few different kickbacks around what is an actual label, what are some of the top terps that are tested in Maryland, and how you can use this information to elevate your cannabis knowledge here in the ecosystem. Of course, you can join by going to exploremarylandcannabis.com/membership, and all of the details will be there for you. All right, we're going to talk about a hot new product that dropped on the market this week, Curaleaf Select Squeeze. All right, so a new product dropped on the market this week. You'll start to see it around in dispensaries, specifically Curaleaf branded dispensaries. The product is the Curaleaf Select Squeeze. The Select Squeeze is a fast-acting THC-infused beverage enhancer featuring nano-emulsification technology. That is a tongue twister. Now, what is nano-emulsification technology? Let's read it in Curaleaf's words. Nano-emulsification technology turns cannabis oil into tiny water-soluble molecules, allowing the product, the Select Squeeze, to dissolve in water more easily and be absorbed into the drinker's bloodstream more efficiently. So for those who are looking to medicate on the go this summer, this looks like it'll be a great product for you to not only keep your system in balance, but also a little bit of discretion. Onset times, according to Curaleaf, will range between 15 to 30 minutes, and the squeeze comes in 4 flavors: lemon lime, watermelon, strawberry lemonade, and a hint of sweet. Curaleaf has 3 dispensaries located here in Maryland: the Gaithersburg location, Montgomery Village, and the Reisterstown flagship store. So all 3 of these locations currently are getting Select Squeezes into their inventory or currently have them. So be sure to check out the Select Squeeze at a location near you. Proud to announce our first in-person event of the summer, our Sunset Sessions. So we want you to come out, catch the sunset, and connect with fellow cannabis community members here in Maryland. We're jumping off this series in July 17th at 7 o'clock till dusk in Baltimore City at the beautiful West Covington Park. Be sure to join us for munchies and to kick off the Cannabis Explorers Project. We will be talking more about the Explorers Project as the weeks go on, but if you want a way to connect cannabis with your mental health while also breaking the stigma, that is what the Explorers Project is all about. So over the summer, we'll have different crafty, social, educational projects that will be debuting in different formats at different events. So if you don't get an opportunity to miss this one, do not fret. Just be sure to save the date for the next one. We've got plenty of things coming up, and I cannot wait to announce them for you here. Our community event of the week goes to Spark. Spark is back, and they are hosting their first in-person event of the year as well. Congratulations, on 7/10. So if you are not familiar with who Spark is an organization that is dedicated to connecting cannabis professionals in person. One of the things that is very unique about cannabis culture is the way in which we connect. So if you're interested in connecting with other cannabis professionals, they have an event coming up July 10th from 5 to 8. It is located in Edgewater, Maryland, which is in Anne Arundel County, in Manna Supply's backfield. So Manna is a industry operator. They've got space behind, and that is super awesome that they were able to make that connection and make this happen. So their networking nights happened previously on a monthly basis. So I'm super excited to see these come back. It's a great way to connect with your next boss, your next colleague, or if you just want to get a little bit information about the professional side and what that looks like in our ecosystem. Spark is a great organization that helps facilitate this conversation. So if you are looking to go, be sure to sign up on Eventbrite. The tickets start at $20. Oh, well, tickets are $35 at the time of this recording. You've missed early bud, sorry. If you're looking to sponsor, or if you happen to want to bring your whole crew, your company, there are deals for that. So if you're looking to connect with other cannabis professionals in person, be sure to check out our community event of the week, Sparks 710 Comeback Party in Edgewater. Congratulations. Cannot wait to see what this event will be. All right, our job of the week comes from a local operator, Ethos Cannabis. They are looking for a part-time cannabis product associate. So if you are not familiar with Ethos, they are new to the market but old to cannabis. They recently acquired the Mission dispensaries. So if it's Ethos sounds new, that's because Ethan and Mission, Ethos is now Mission. There we go. So a little bit about Ethos. Ethos is a multi-state cannabis company, MSO, with operations in the cultivation, processing, and dispensing of cannabis in Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, and Maryland. So their mission is that they have a consumer-centric vision. That's their goal, excuse me. Their goal is to have a clear and compelling consumer-centric vision focused on helping individuals feel and live better through their experiences with cannabis. Their mission is supported by their relationship with Jefferson Health, a leading academic medical center in the U.S. dedicated to collecting and analyzing valuable real-life data and developing educational initiatives with a focus on patient outcomes and the quality of life. So you can find out more about this organization by heading to their website. But let's look a little bit about the position. Let's look into this position here. Let's take a look at the position here. So they are currently hiring 2 individuals for this role, and they are looking for a product associate who will be working full-time in Catonsville. They will assist the management team with the activities and operation of the dispensary. They're looking for a passionate, driven, and outgoing cannabis product associate. So they're looking for someone with communication skills, customer service skills. Previous retail experience is a plus, but not required. I always like to jump in and say this. Working in a dispensary is like working in a retail store. It's like working at Apple. It's like working at Walmart when it comes to SKUs, when it comes to inventory, when it comes to audit, when it comes to attention to detail, when it comes to customer relationships that you make. So do not ever let previous cannabis experience deter you from applying, because in Maryland, our market operationally is less than 5 years old. So unless you've worked at a few different dispensaries or outside of the Maryland market, you might not have that experience. So do not let that deter you. Of course, they have all of the responsibilities of a person who is going to be working front facing in the dispensary, customer service, helping patients, delivering an ultimate customer experience, which says a lot about their company culture. So be sure to tap into that. Of course, cash handling, POS, and all of the things. Like I said, a lot of these really align with a retail experience. So take a look at what the responsibilities are, not requirements. And then let's scroll on down to the qualifications. So, of course, these qualifications under I would call the ones that are first requirements: minimum of a high school degree required, college degree preferred. Preferred is always optional. Work experience, 2 years of customer service experience, cannabis experience preferred, local applicants preferred. So if you're looking to move into this Maryland market, be sure that you are tapped into the local ecosystem. And as you scroll down and check out more of the qualifications, like I said, feels very much like an extension of a retail environment. So if you worked at Walmart, if you worked at Lush, if you worked at Rainbow, Forever 21, any of those places where you've had to deal with customers, if you've had to handle cash, if you're a key holder or floor leader, if you had to encourage your other colleagues, shoot your shot. Last but certainly not least, there are the other requirements. Be sure to take a look at some of those because they change from company to company. But at the end of the day, you must be at least 21 years of age, pass a fingerprinting background check, and if you have a conviction prior to that can't be expunged, they may disqualify you from becoming a patient or working in this role. So take a look into that. I love that the pay is here, $15 an hour. It's part-time. There's your availability, and there it is. So you can learn more about this particular position by going to the Ethos website or just pulling up in the dispensary. I've been to the Catonsville location before. They seem cool, decent, very open to talk to. So if you're a patient, if you're looking to get into the market, go ahead, take that extra step and placing you to the top of the pile. And there's a few different ways that you can do that, right? You can just show up, show out, or you can take a look at some of our workforce events that we have coming up. We've got one on All About the Search coming up this month. That's a free event. But of course, our paid boot camps and master classes, we help get you to the top of the pile. So be sure to take a look into that. It's not much of a big investment. We just want to make sure that we get you employed and help you stay employable. All right, that wraps up this week's episode. Man, that went so fast. I hope that you had an opportunity to learn something new or catch up on what you didn't realize happened while you were sleeping over the last 2 weeks. I'm looking forward to coming back to you on a weekly basis this month. So stay tuned for these episodes to drop every Monday. We've shifted for Sunday. Monday is the way, y'all. Monday is the way. Where you can get our up-to-date information about what's happening in Maryland cannabis and how you can become a part of this ecosystem. So thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week. Peace.